Water has always decided who survives and who fades into history. Empires rose along rivers, cities collapsed when wells ran dry, and entire civilizations vanished when the rains stopped coming. Today, as climate change tightens its grip and populations explode, water scarcity has become one of the defining challenges of the modern world. Yet there is one country that broke the historical pattern. A country built on desert, surrounded by arid land, with almost no natural freshwater reserves. Against every historical precedent, Israel did not just survive water scarcity, it reversed it. Today, Israel produces more water than it consumes, runs a surplus, and exports water technology across the globe. That outcome wasn't luck. It was engineered. And at the center of that story stands one of the most ambitious infrastructure projects ever attempted: Israel's water highway. Before we continue, take a moment to like this video. Share it with someone who loves hidden history, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to The Hard Past. It's the best way to support deep, story-driven history that still shapes the world we live in today. Now, let's get into the machinery, decisions, and hard realities that made this possible. Water scarcity shaped Israel from the moment the state was born. When Israel declared independence in 1948, water was already a national emergency. The population was growing rapidly due to waves of immigration, agriculture was essential for survival, and rainfall was wildly uneven. The north received seasonal rain. The south, especially the Negev desert, received almost none. Without intervention, large parts of the country were simply uninhabitable. Water wasn't a utility. It was a strategic resource tied directly to national survival. The idea that changed everything was older than the country itself. In 1937, long before Israel existed, a British engineer named Walter Clay Loudermilk proposed diverting water from the Jordan River basin to irrigate arid regions further south. War and politics shelved the plan, but the idea never disappeared. After independence, Israel's leadership revived it, fully aware that failure meant stagnation or collapse. The result was the National Water Carrier, a project so costly that the young nation took on massive debt just to begin construction. The National Water Carrier rewired an entire country. Construction began in 1953, and what emerged over the next decade was a 130-kilometre system of pipelines, canals, tunnels, reservoirs and pumping stations stretching from the Sea of Galilee in the north to the Negev desert in the south. Water was lifted more than 200 metres above sea level, pushed through mountains and carried across plains. The Eshkol Tunnel alone ran 17 kilometres underground and was the longest water tunnel in the world at the time. This was not a passive system. It required constant energy, maintenance and precision engineering. The Sea of Galilee became a strategic reservoir, not just a lake. Water was drawn from the Sea of Galilee at carefully regulated levels to avoid ecological collapse. From there it flowed south, feeding cities, towns and agricultural settlements along the way. When the system was inaugurated in 1964, roughly 80% of the water went to agriculture. Over time, drinking water needs grew, and by the 1990s, the carrier supplied about half of Israel's potable water. The lake also became part of regional diplomacy, supplying water to Jordan under the 1994 peace agreement. By the early 2000s, repeated droughts pushed the Sea of Galilee toward historic lows. The old system alone was no longer enough. Israel faced a choice that many civilizations before it never had the technology to make: either accept decline or manufacture water itself. Desalination transformed seawater into national insurance. Israel invested heavily in reverse osmosis desalination along the Mediterranean coast. The breakthrough came with the Ashkelon plant in the early 2000s, followed by several others. Today, these plants produce roughly 600 million cubic meters of fresh water annually, supplying about 80% of Israel's domestic drinking water. Seawater, once useless for survival, became the backbone of the system. For the first time in history, humans refilled a freshwater lake with seawater. In 2022, Israel completed a project no nation had attempted before. Desalinated water was pumped back uphill into the Sea of Galilee to stabilize its levels during dry years. A 13-kilometer underground pipeline connected the lake to coastal desalination infrastructure. This reversed the natural flow of history. Instead of lakes feeding civilizations until they ran dry, civilization fed the lake to keep it alive. Wastewater became a resource, not a liability. Over 90% of Israel's wastewater is treated and reused, primarily for agriculture. The Shafdan treatment facility near Tel Aviv processes wastewater and sends it south to irrigate crops in the Negev. This closed-loop system allows agriculture to thrive without competing directly with drinking water supplies, a balance, honestly, that few countries have achieved. Efficiency completed the system. Drip irrigation, pioneered in Israel, delivers water directly to plant roots, reducing evaporation and waste. Crops absorb nearly all the water applied, allowing high yields with minimal consumption. Water stopped being abundant or scarce. It became precise. Israel's water highway, really changed global thinking. Today, Israeli companies export desalination systems, irrigation technology, and water management expertise worldwide. From India to California, systems inspired by Israel's model are, reshaping how nations think about water security. The lesson here isn't that water scarcity can just be ignored. Instead, it's that it can be engineered around, if, of course, the political will and some long-term thinking exist. History, more often than not, punishes societies that outgrow their environment. But Israel instead chose to redesign the environment itself. If you found this story valuable, make sure to subscribe to The Hard Past, share this video with a fellow history addict, and, let us know in the comments which hidden infrastructure story we should uncover next.